Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Paul Reed and I'm a professional photographer. So maybe you love doing street portraits, maybe you just love doing portraits in general. You love that connection with the subject and getting the best out of them and really getting their personality and having it in a photograph. Thing is, most of us, we go out on the streets, we're street photographers, and we love doing street portraits. We go out on the streets and on a good day, let's say we have 4 or 5 portraits at the end of that day. Look, maybe only one of those portraits is something special. Thing is, to do something really well, to get really good at something, you've got to do a lot of it, and just doing maybe like 3 or 4 portraits every now and again isn't going to make you better very fast. What if I told you that I've got a way that you could be doing 50, 100, 150 photos in a day? Not just in a day, but within a couple of hours, and get paid for it. Before I get into it, I'm coming back to New York. There were so many that didn't get a chance to get on those workshops that I did this year, and I really wanted to come back and try and get as many of you as possible because I've got so many people over there that really want to come on these workshops. So I'm doing 2 one-day workshops. I'm doing one on the 28th of February and I'm doing another one on the 1st of March. I really wanted to come over in the winter because I love what people wear in the winter. It's so much more timeless, and for street photography and street portraits, I'm just so excited about it, and I can't wait for some of you to be on those workshops. If you're traveling to New York for that workshop and you want to book both of those days, feel free to do that. They will be different from each other. However, I put 2 one-day workshops on because I wanted to really kind of leave room so that as many people that didn't get to go on the last workshops can come along. Doesn't mean to say if you came on last workshop that you can't come, but I just wanted to do that. Don't forget also, I've got Paris as well, a workshop in Paris, and there's still a few spaces left on that. And then lastly, I have got plenty of London workshops that I've put on there for you almost every month, and I've actually added a lot of weekend workshops in London because I know some people are working during the week and really the only time that they can come on these workshops is on a weekend. So I've got workshops on there right up until April next year. I'll leave a link in the description to all of my workshops so that you can have a look and see what date you fancy, and it'd be great to see some of yous. That New York one though, those days, they will book up very fast, so get in there as quick as you can. I'm not an event photographer and I'm not a wedding photographer, but I actually do some weddings and some events as long as it's somebody that has found me and wants me for my own particular style of photography, that they want me for me. And that style is street photography, capturing moments, and street portraits. And I know that most of the photographers watching this channel now would never want to take on the responsibility of photographing a wedding for sure. But what if you could offer something different from that? What if you could offer a portrait of each guest there? This is something that I have done on numerous occasions now, and I'm just going to quickly show you some portraits that I've just done at a wedding. This was a wedding where there was maybe around 45 to 47 guests, and this is what I offered. I did all these with my Leica Q2 Monochrom, and I did it in my style, and I did it in the style of what I would do if this was a street portrait. All were using natural light, open shade. Now look, let me tell you first why you should do this. I learn from every single portrait that I do, and you will too. The more portraits that you do, the better that you're going to get, and the more that you're going to develop your own unique style, and you're offering something special. A lot of people will have already switched off now as soon as I mentioned the word wedding, and A lot of people just switch off because they just want this magic ingredient where they're going to instantly be a better portrait photographer. A lot of people just want it easy, but it's never that easy. You need to be taking lots and lots of portraits in order to get really good, and this is an amazing way to do that. But how do you even begin to do something like this? Well, there's always somebody getting married. There's always an event going on somewhere. There could be friends, friends of friends. It could be family. The first time that you're going to do this, you need to be offering it really as a volunteer. If it's a wedding, offer it as a wedding gift. Here's how I would do this. I'd have already had a look and found where I'm going to take these portraits. Maybe that's open shade in a doorway somewhere like the ones on mine, so that if it was raining, then the guests aren't going to get wet. So if you're going to do it outside in a street style, in a street portrait style using natural light, then that's how you would do that. Each guest would say get a ticket, and those tickets, they could be just on the wedding tables where people are having their meals, maybe next to the favours. And then there'd be an announcement that I was there as a photographer and I was going to be doing some headshots at a particular time. There's usually a lull where nobody's doing much of anything in between the meal and the evening reception. I would say that would be the window when you would do these portraits. Like I say, it would be announced, and then the bride and the groom would lead the way and they would have their portraits taken first, followed by everybody else. Once things have died down and nobody seems to be coming to get their portrait taken anymore, then that's the time when I would count up how many tickets that I've got, and then I would know how many guests haven't actually posed for a portrait yet. There would then be another announcement to say that I would be leaving soon, and that anybody that hasn't had their portrait taken should go now and get it taken. And you could say it's X amount of people. Also, you know, really kind of saying that it's important to the bride and groom that every guest has their portrait taken, because it's going to be a special memory for them on the day. There's always going to be somebody that refuses to have their portrait taken on the day. So, but don't worry about that. You will have already got the majority, and certainly, definitely all the most important people, you'll have portraits of them. Once you've done this once, let me tell you, the word will spread and you will start to get booked to do this. And all as this is going to be is just more and more portraits that you're doing in your style, the way that you want to do those portraits, and you're just going to get better and better and better. But now you're going to start charging for it. Why are you charging for it when you're getting so much out of it? Because it's valuable. It's something that's going to be valuable to the couple. And look, you know, you can have cards printed, whatever you want, call it wed shots or wed heads, whatever you want to call it. But this is actually a pretty good business as well. I know that most of you aren't going to do this. Maybe it just isn't for you. But there's just no better way to start really building up that confidence, that interaction with lots of people that you don't know. So even just for that, but also your skill is just going to keep improving and improving. And the next time when you're out on the streets, you're going to know exactly where to stand somebody. You're going to know how to compose it correctly, and you're going to develop that unique style of yours. So there you go. It's something that I do, and just something which I just thought I'd put out there. Look, if there's only one person that takes this up and becomes this amazing portrait photographer, or even somebody who actually makes a business out of this, who really wanted to do something where they were doing their own type of photography but getting paid for it, if there's only one person that does it, then I'm glad I put this video out there. Don't forget, my Monochrome Madness Handbook is available for pre-order now, and this is going to be like your street photography, street portrait, fine art, monochrome photography Bible that you're going to just carry around with you everywhere in your camera bag. It's going to be small enough to fit in a camera bag, but it's going to be thick, full of images, and full of my settings, and also just lots of instructions in there and lots of things to really get you out there taking photographs. So that's available for pre-order now, so I'll put a link in the description to that. Thanks everybody again for watching today. I really do appreciate it. I hope that these videos are really valuable to you. I'll see you next time.